Hi, I'm Chuck. I'm a photographer based in the Plains States, and I have a particular interest in historical places. The kind that most people would look at and say, hey, that's a cool landmark, and then just keep on driving. The populations of America's small towns are declining, and in the process, many of these landmarks are being forgotten. But they are what show how daily life for everyday people looked back when these small towns were thriving. I want to make art out of these landmarks that respects the lives of those who made use of them. With that said, let's get to today's spot. So the spot tonight is in Cedar Point, Kansas. It's this old mill. Current Chuck knows nothing about it other than its location, so future Chuck will have studied up by this point, and he'll be able to tell you some more info about it. I'm back, and I know stuff now. Shout out to Dawn over at the Chase County Historical Society. She helped me out with getting a lot of sources and just in general increasing my knowledge about this place. The stone structure you see here was constructed from 1871 to 1875. Before this, there was actually a wooden mill that was constructed in the 1860s that was actually wiped out by a flood. The stone mill replaced it and was completed in 1875. So originally it was used to mill wood, and then it was used to mill grain. Okay, so in 1892, it was sold to Shriver. Yeah, Guilford and Shriver. Killed by a train while crossing the tracks in a horse and buggy. Good grief. The mill ground wheat until 1941. And then in 51, the big flood came through the mill.
But I'm thinking there was a gentleman that used it privately just to feed his own cattle. So he owned it for a while. And
in the 1970s, A.L. Pinkston purchased the mill and continued to use it for grinding his own personal grain until '88. So it changed hands several times, and then in 2015 it was bought by a conservancy. Clothier wanted to restore it to preserve its history, but unfortunately that is not the case. This mill is now for sale if you would like to buy it. So there's that. So the mill is being sold. Property consists of the mill and an adjacent structure known as Drinkwater Hall on 2 acres. DS Mill was founded in 2015 for the purpose of restoring the old grist mill, so they weren't able to restore it. And
they put a lot of money, and they've had Heritage Trust grants, but it's all had to go to the foundation to keep it from falling into the river, so you don't see the work they've done. There's a lot of,
I did notice a lot of bracing and things to keep the walls from... The best shot might be from that bridge. There's also a pretty cool town. Like the town looks pretty cool. It's abandoned, but there might be some good shots of some abandoned buildings as well. I was gonna pop the drone up in the air, but guess which dingus forgot the SD card?
That dingus.
This dingus. I forgot the SD card. That's Mary, by the way.
Hi.
Also, we're starting to get a bit of a sprinkle going on, but I think everything we have is mostly weatherproof. Yeah?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. You didn't hear it, but there was a bit of thunder over there. So things might get interesting. But as long as we don't get struck by lightning, we should be fine. You don't want to get struck by lightning,
Even
right?
if we get struck by lightning, it's a fun story to tell.
For whoever survives, assuming one of us does.
Dibs.
Dibs.
We can share dibs on surviving.
There's a yellow front end loader. Yeah, there's a yellow front end loader over on that side of the building that I think looks really cool. To take pictures of the mill, I might need the lens that you're holding. But if we have to do a switcheroo, we will. So you can see the mill right over here. The water's pretty high right now. And the water's also pretty brown. I don't necessarily love that, but it is Kansas, and it is a slightly flooded river, so you can't really change much about that. I'm gonna get on this side because I really like the yellow that's going on in the clouds above the mill. You can see right up there, there's a bit of yellow going on. So I'm gonna try to shoot that. Oh, it's so brown. I just realized my truck is in the background of the shot. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
So right now, settings wise, I'm at a 15th of a second at f13, ISO 100. It's because I wanted a somewhat slow shutter to get a bit of movement in this water down here, which I don't think will be an issue. And then the reason I'm at f13 was partly to bring that shutter speed down, but then also I want to make sure that things are all in focus, front to back, including my truck that I parked in the background on accident. Mary is very disappointed in me. So yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna take some shots as the light changes. Sunset is in about another 10 minutes, and I'm hoping that this is going to reflect a whole lot of really nice light. So I'm bracketing 5 shots back to back to back. There's not a whole lot moving in the scene other than the water, so it should be fine to be able to stitch those together so that I can preserve some shadow and highlight details. I really like how blue this area of the sky looks right now. It looks like it's just kind of like radiating blue. So I'm gonna see if I can accentuate that in my photo too. But you see what I'm saying with the water just being brown. I mean, that's disgusting. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll do something to change the color in editing, or, I mean, I can't just make it a black and white shot because a big part of it is the sunset itself. So I'll figure out something. Maybe I'll just accept the brown. So composition wise, there's a bit of a golden ratio thing happening here. This line of the clouds kind of points over to the mill that's on the lower left third corner. So on the back of my camera, these clouds up here actually look a lot more pink than they do in real life. I'm gonna keep taking shots while we're talking here. They look a lot more pink than they do in real life because I'm using daylight white balance, and it's kind of interpreting the color as though it was the middle of the day, even though the sun is just set, kind of messes with things. But it makes the background clouds light up bright pink. The sky is still like fluorescent blue, which is really nice. I think there's one more shot at this end of the bridge over here with this white building, the abandoned building, and then the road kind of curves off into the distance, and they're like ominous clouds up above it. And this place used to be a mechanic's garage. The mechanic actually lived right here, and so just lived and worked in the same place. According to Don at the Chase County Historical Society, the guy who lived here was quite a character, and if he saw someone that he thought was suspicious, he would come out with holstered up.
My aunt used to live out there in the 1990s, and the guy that lived here was very protective of her, and she would tell, and I don't remember if I put it in the book or not, I know I did the pop machine, but if he thought somebody was messing with her, because they're kind of out there in the middle of nowhere,
yeah,
he'd come over with these 6-shooters on.
2.5 seconds, guys. I think I got too much of this face of the building in that shot.
Like the side?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I want to... So, my dilemma here... there we go. This is a 35 millimeter shot. I like this shot. Okay, and then there was a building down there you liked?
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like an old brick building.
You're coming with me. So this is the old school at Cedar Point. I don't know any of the history of it, except for the fact that on top of the building, it does say 1937. So this second part of the building was built earlier. I can tell you that because it says 1918 on the top, and the other side says 1937. So there was a previous building that was used up until 1918, and then in February of 1918, there was actually fire. It was an overnight fire, and that schoolhouse was completely burned down, on the inside anyway. On the outside, it was a limestone structure, so the limestone walls were still standing, but the inside of the school actually completely burned out. So they had to build this wing, which was built in 1918, finished that same year. They had an insurance policy of $5,000, and apparently that got them started on this one. And you can see from the video clip that I'm showing now that it's actually completely collapsed inside there. This wing over here, let me just head over there real quick. This wing right here was built in 1937. I assume that's just because it grew enough and got enough students that they needed a bigger building. But yeah, this wing over here, built in 1918 after a fire, and this one was built in 1937. The school was closed and then was consolidated into a united school district that now goes to Cottonwood Falls. So people who live in this area go to Cottonwood Falls, which is about 10 miles away. They get bussed in. I really like the moody clouds that are going on above this. We don't have that much time left with light, so I'm gonna stop concentrating on filming for you guys, and I'm gonna start taking some photos. There's this merry-go-round in front of the school. So I'm gonna use, I actually really like the way that looks with the light in the shot. So I'm gonna use this light on the merry-go-round. I also want the tripod high enough that there's enough separation visually between the merry-go-round and the school. So I'm actually gonna raise this column a bit. I'm gonna go with ISO 500. All right, so I think there's not quite enough light to film anymore, but Mary had a really cool idea. She's spinning the merry-go-round over there and doing a long exposure and getting that motion blur, which is pretty cool. Good idea, Mary.
Pretty cool.
I won't be copying your shot.
You can share it.
It's your idea, and it's a good one. Mary has a light in her mouth.
Uh-huh. We're gonna do light things, light painting.
Ye olde light painting?
Mm-hmm. Be better if I had my batteries. It's pretty dope though. Mary remembered how to set a timer on here. That'd be great. Ooh, but oh, that looks dope. That looks, oh my gosh. OMG. You smell funny.
If you made it all the way to the end, then in the comments, I want you to type that you smell funny. Also, go check out Mary on her Instagram, which is Moon11 Photography. Any dots or underscores or anything? Okay, Moon11 Photography. That's Mary's Instagram. Go check her out. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Smash that like button.
Don't smash it.
Smash it.
Don't smash it.
Lightly press.